democracy means more, much more, than the right to vote, and one vote for every man and every woman of the prescribed age. Democracy means recognition of the rights of others. Democracy means the equality of all in the eyes of the law. Democracy means equality of opportunity for all in education, in the public service, and in private employment. Democracy means freedom of worship for all and the subordination of the rights of any one race to the overriding right of the human race. Our national flag belongs to all our citizens. Our national coat of arms with our national birds inscribed therein is the sacred trust of all our citizens. So it is today. Please, I urge you, let it always be so. Let us always be able to say with the psalmist, "Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity." As the citizens of an independent country, we must preserve the qualities we have developed in the testing period before independence. We must work even harder than in the past. The watchwords I have chosen for the nation are discipline, production, tolerance. I appeal to you to let them ever be your guide to conduct. If we do this, we will build a nation which can hold its head high and be accepted anywhere in the world, and which any other nation will be glad to welcome as a friend. As we march forward to our great day, let us do so as a united people, bridging all the differences of class, race, color, and creed. Let us make a living reality of our new motto: together we aspire, together we achieve.
We seem to feel that life is over just because we throw a few pennies down the gutter.
From Mafeking to Rio Claro to Guayaguayare, through the coconuts of Manzanilla to the fine sands of Queens Beach. This is your station on the Eastern Peninsula, Mayaro Radio, taking Mayaro to the world.
Seem to feel that life is over just because we throw a few pennies down the gutter. We seem to feel everything is lost, so we fighting to get back something at any cost. But while we searching and we searching just to get back that little something, we forgetting we knows nothing about this world in which we live in. Someone greater put this world together, so we must remember, in times of plenty we must be grateful. In times of sorrow we must be strong. In times of joy we must be thankful, because life really have its up and its down. In times of disaster we must be ready to join together and move racism out the way. And if you listen to this watchword from your lover, Black Stallion, tomorrow would be a better day.
Better day, better day, better day.
We meet a world today with 4 seasons. Who is we to try and find out what's the reason? And what goes wrong so must come back wrong so. Why that is so, nobody don't know. And there There are so much other mysteries that nobody still can answer. So we just gotta say thanks and keep looking to the future, because this world is not ours to control. It is just to behold. In times of plenty we must be grateful. In times of sorrow we must be strong. In times of joy we must be thankful, because life really have its ups and its downs. In times of disaster we must be ready to get together and move racism out the way. And if you listen to this watch word from your lover, Black Stallion, tomorrow would be a better day.
Better day, better day, better day.
As we go through this life we live in, we must know by now that this world owes us nothing. So live your life and just enjoy it. And let's try to leave this world better than we find it. Because the maker of this world with nobody have no contract. It have no paper that could tell we that tomorrow going to come back. Look ahead, for tomorrow you're dead. After all is said,
This
in times
is
of
My Arrow
plenty,
Radio.
we must be grateful. In times of sorrow we must be strong.
868-294-8232.
In times of joy we
My Arrow
must
Radio.
be thankful, because life really have its ups and its downs. In times of disaster we must be ready to get together and move racism out the way. You try with a federation, the whole thing end in confusion. CARICOM and then CARIFTA, but somehow a spelling disaster. Mr. West Indian politician, I mean you went to a big institution, and how come you can't unite 7 million? When a West Indian unity, I know it's very easy. If you only rap to your people and tell them like me, them is one race, from the same place, that make the same trip, on the same ship. So we must push one common intention, it's for a better life in the region, for we woman and we children. That must be the ambition of the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man. You say that the Federation was imported quite from England, and you're going and form a CARIFTA with a true West Indian flavor. But since CARIFTA started running, morning, noon and night all are hearing, with just money speech, them Prime Minister giving. But I say no set of money could form a unity. First of all, your people need their identity like one race, from the same place, that make the same trip, on the same ship. So we must push one common intention, it's for a better life in the region, for we woman and we children. That must be the ambition of the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man. come is wasting time. The whole Caribbean gone blind. If we don't know from where we coming, then we can't plan where we going. That's why some want to be communist, brother, some want to be socialist, and one set a religion to add to the foolishness. Look, a man who don't know his history can't form no unity. How could a man who don't know his roots form his own ideology? Like one race from the same place that make the same trip on the same ship. So we must push one common intention. It's for a better life in the region. For we women and we children. That must be the ambition of the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man.
Good morning, Mayaro, and welcome to Seine Talk. Yes, listeners, it's December 31st, 2022, the last day of the year. And this morning on other frequencies, I heard persons stating New Year's Eve, and I'm looking at New Year's what? New Year's Eve. That is a North American term all year. Today is Old Year's Day. New Year's Eve is Old Year's Day. So happy Old Year's Day to the listening audience across the diaspora all over the planet. Welcome to Seine Talk on this Saturday morning. And of course, we started with one of the greatest composition by the man, Dr. Leroy Callis, who sadly passed away after ailing for a number of years on Wednesday the 28th. Rest in peace, brother. A big one. TNT was hit really hard, the Calypso fraternity. And of course, what is noteworthy, listeners, do you know that when I heard of the passing of our brother, guess where I got that information from? I got that information from on the page of Jamaican artist Buju Banton. When Buju Banton put up that post that our brother had died peacefully. I mean, that is to tell you right away the reaches. And of course, every single person is speaking about the fact that the comments made by the Prime Minister of Barbados in the person of Mia Motley, and Mia Motley's comments on the singer, Leroy Callis. And I will read some of her expressions this morning. I mean, it is truly fabulous. And to recognize the brother and his input, not only within Trinidad and Tobago, but across the region, that the black man really impacted us in song, where Prime Minister Mia Motley said he did it like no one could, where he made you feel the expression. And do you know, listeners, this is one thing to remember. Do you know that the brother, Dr. Callis, Dr. Leroy Callis, the Black Stallion, started off as a limbo dancer? Yes, right here on Seine Talk, you get that. Our brother was a limbo dancer. So, this morning, it's all about one of our greatest artists, and we will touch, as we normally do, on the dailies, the three main dailies in TNT. And of course, we ventilated last week, Saturday. And those who are thinking that when we get to that number, that somehow it validates them, and sadly, not realizing what that means in reality, that the death toll this morning, listeners, we have crossed the 600. The front page of today's Express has it as 601. Other media houses have it as 602 and 603. So we have crossed that threshold for the bloodiest year in the history of our beautiful Twin Island Republic. And for those who are clapping and glad and mean that validates them and their words, how sad that the only thing that you could think of in the fact that TNT has reached 600 plus deaths in 1 year, murders that is, that you think that that means that you are an answer. How sad. Ask not what you can do. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. So this morning, it's all about remembering the great ones. And you know, in 2022, we would have lost so many great ones locally, all right? And starting very early on the 3rd of December and 3rd of January this year, our dear brother, Footballer of the Year 1986, and all these artists and performers. Here's what, when our brother Stalin closed his eyes on Wednesday the 28th, you know what happened on the 29th? The greatest footballer of all time decided to throw in the towel also. And so condolences go to the Brazilian people. And thank you for giving us the greatest footballer of all time. Of course, Dona Cimiento, a.k.a. Pelé, the greatest of all time. And, you know, a friend of mine made a joke. And, you know, he smiled when he made the joke. And then after he's saying all this nonsense coming out of the World Cup about who is the greatest. And they're trying to give a one World Cup winner and say he's the greatest. He said, you know, that could have played a part on the boss. And the boss decide, here's what. Let me go rest up. Because a guy won one World Cup. One World Cup. Some persons say due to a Polish referee. No comment there. Because I think that the referee did an excellent game. Some persons say yes, due to a Polish referee. All right. But one World Cup you're scraping. One World Cup you're scraping. And persons are stating greatest of all time. But this is a guy who won 3 World Cups. 3, not 1, 3. Right? The greatest of all time. Undisputed, no challenge whatsoever. Nothing. So this morning we're remembering the great ones. And the tribute is to our very own master of the arts, the brother, the black man. And of course, we're going to start off this morning with looking at the 3 dailies. On the front page of today's Express, Saturday, December 31st, 2022, a year of bloody infamy. 601 deaths. Story by Alexander Rudal on page 4 and 5. And on the front page of the Express, there are some pictures of some persons who would have met their demise through the year. And I hope that the Express got the permission of the family members of these persons. Because believe you me, listeners, if my family member was murdered, I would not want to rehash, while I would be seeking justice, I would not want to rehash on the front page of the papers a picture of that person. All right? So that's the front page of today's Express. And of course, on the back page in sports, Coach Walsh wants to include more youth in West Indies women's senior setup. I keep saying here many Saturdays that one of the wise guys that I know, or knew because he has passed, said anything without youth will die. All right? So take heed. On the front page of today's Newsday, very, very, very interesting. 56 vanished without a trace. We'll touch a little bit more on that because that caught my eye this morning, listeners. And also, destroyed. A fireman douses this car, which burst into flames on Friday after colliding with a truck near the entrance to the southbound ramp of the interchange off the Churchill Roosevelt Highway near Grand Bazaar. All right? Also, TNT reaches 600 murders in 2022. Broken record and broken families. That is the front page of today's Newsday. And of course, on the back page of today's Newsday in sports, Olympians urges TNT athletes not to give up, seize the moment. And on the front page of today's Guardian, listeners, New Year's hats. A group of women posed for a selfie while trying on New Year's hats at Wonderful World in Gulf City Mall, La Romaine yesterday. Right? Also on the front page of today's Guardian, thieves hit St. Francois for the second time in 1 week. Belmont Girls School targeted twice in a week. And over $80,000 in computer equipment stolen. How sad. All right? Listen this. Cops handed out 30 million in road tickets 2022. So, to all the errant drivers, you would have contributed to the coffers of Trinidad and Tobago to the tune of $30 million. And of course, right next door to us here in Sangre Grande, woman stabs man to death. And of course, an investigation and an inquiry into the death has been called upon because apparently some of the things are not adding up as it relates to that incident. Right? And of course, on the back page, all right, Brentford's Ivan Toney Center challenges the ball with West Ham. Vladimir Kufal left during their team's English Premier League football match at the London Stadium in London yesterday. All right? But this is it. Listeners, hear this from our very own The Dream, which is our brother Jareem Richards. TNT's ace track and field athlete Jareem The Dream Richards was named as the 2022 TNT Olympic Committee Sportsman of the Year at the 28th Annual Awards Ceremony, which took place virtually on Thursday. It was the Point Fortin born 28-year-old third honor in 5 years after previous triumphs in 2017 and 2018. Well done, well done. So, listeners, we don't want to dwell too much on the fact that persons are trying to seek mileage off of the carnage that took place in TNT 2022. But rather, let us collectively take a stand in that, demanding, yes, and I agree, more from those in authority as it relates to changing that atmosphere, but also looking at ourselves and ask what part we can play in terms of improving. And one of those that jumps out and jumps to mind immediately, is, the black man would have told us about, is to show more love. And showing more love is not from a condescending position or from a position whereby you accept foolishness, but raise the standards. Raise the standards. Be your brother's keeper. Be aware. Right? Some of us say that the relationship with the TTPS is not a good one, but believe you me, when that thing hits the fan, and we look up and we look down, each of us run to beak also. And then we are the same persons who we were stating that we did not like and we don't have any association. We now find that they must be able to solve whatever issue we have instantly. So their call of, see something, say something. We have to be part of that. So to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. See something, say something. You park indiscriminately, you block the traffic, we have to have that personal and internal change right? Because, listeners, Trinidad and Tobago is the greatest island on earth, and Trinidad and Tobago is the best place on the planet Earth. I say that without no contradiction, without no fear. So, we continue to, think about our brother this morning and some of the comments that he made. Because while people this morning trying to put together a playlist to recognize and honor the contribution of our dearly beloved brother, Dr. Leroy Callis, a.k.a. the Black Stallion. It was really hard. So what I tried to do is to try to take messages from the brother to deal. And yes, I'm going to read the comments from Prime Minister Mia Mottley. But taking the lyrics of the brother as we continue to celebrate his life and contribution to us here in TNT, with one of the big ones that holds fast even today, and that is ism, schism. A big one, listeners. Ism, schism from our brother, the Black Stallion. Big one. Listen to the lyrics. Take it in. Right. And you'll understand the words of Mia when we read them a little bit later in the program. So we're going to break for the ads and we're going to come back with some ism, schism.
Soppy Launch presents Old Year's into New Year's Party. Come celebrate with us December 31st, 8 p.m. till. Ticket cost 200 standard, 300 VIP. Contact these numbers for ticket information. 309-7159, 335-6420. Free drinks and eat. Come with your vibes, leave your pride, and come let's celebrate our new year with Soppy's Launch.
Sufferers don't care who migrate from where or who living in who pay. Sufferers don't care who from country. Sufferers don't care who from town.
Sufferers only want to know
Where the next food coming from?
That's one for the racist. Anytime you bounce up a racist and you hear them running them out, it have a whole set of people don't care what they're talking about. A racist is someone living happy and all their family doing well. So race talk is really not for people in the ghetto catching hell. Now tell the racists, sufferers don't care about color. Sufferers don't care about race. Sufferers don't care who migrate from where or who living in who place. Sufferers don't care who from country. Sufferers don't care who from town. Sufferers only want to hear where their food coming from. You see so much different race, so much different people line up with the ID card. Or visit my village called Alvaro, where they get no war stuff for years. So much different race, so much different color, with a bucket sit down shedding tears. Now tell the racists, sufferers don't care about color. Sufferers don't care about race. Sufferers don't care who migrate from where or who living in who place. Sufferers don't care who from country. Sufferers don't care who from town. Sufferers only want to hear what we have food coming from. Visit the General Hospital, and I know that you would be shocked to see so much different race of people line up waiting on one dock, or pay a visit to the AIDS ward where they find no cure as yet. People don't know the race, yeah, remember the color. All they know is that they're facing death. Now tell the racists, sufferers don't care about what? Sufferers don't care about race. Sufferers don't care who migrate from where or who living in who place. What? Sufferers don't care who from country. What? Sufferers don't care who from town. Sufferers only want to hear where their food coming from.
Message in the music. Message in the music.
Black Stalin!
Selections you have never heard. Black man talking.
Pleasant night to you. This is how I feel about everything. Hear me?
This is My Arrow Radio.
I shine up my ID card and I waiting.
8232.
They tell me how the election coming. And I know as a citizen of this country, to vote they say is my civic duty.
My Arrow Radio.
So I start walking around from meeting to meeting, listening to what politicians saying. But when it came around to election time, just so Stalin changed his mind. Nobody has say nothing about chutney music. Nobody has say what they gonna do for pan. Nothing about dancers nor calypsonian. Like culture don't exist in this land. When I see how they're treating culture so bad, I send back the polling card. They don't care about me, I don't care about them. Me really want politician friend. About culture, they strike a note. If your culture house, I go keep my vote. I went to a meeting quite Diego Martin. They tell me how the PM was talking. Well, I know he and Ralph Marat, them is actors. But them ain't say nothing about no drama theater. Gypsy come up and he start talking about Manning. About the 50% airplay, he said nothing. Kamala talk about pipe and that wasn't all. Jack Warner come up and talk about football. Nobody say what they gonna do for chutney music. Nobody say what they gonna do for pan. Nothing about actors, dancers, no calypsonian. Like culture don't exist in this land. When I see how they're treating culture so bad, I send back the pulling card. They don't care about me, I don't care about them. Me ain't really one politician friend. About culture, you ain't strike a note. Keep your culture house, I go keep me. I went to a meeting in Malabar Junction. That night they say it was the opposition. Man and talk about the 10-point corruption plan. And how we go into jail some politician. Rowley talk about vote padding. Bureau talk about some politician hiding. Them fellas make so much plan for the future, but they ain't say nothing about culture. Nobody say what they go do for chutney music. Nobody say what they go do for pan. Nothing about dancers, actors, no calypsonian. Like culture don't exist in this land. When I see how they're treating culture so bad, I send back the pulling card. They don't care about me, I don't care about them. Me ain't really one politician friend. About culture, they ain't strike a note. Keep your culture fun, I go.
Five-time Kaiser monarch of TNT and the reigning king of kings, Leroy Callis, the Black Stallion. Nobody cares. Leroy.
Yes, listeners, big one. I know you're saying, wait now, I never heard this talent before. Yes, that is what we do right here on Mayaro Radio, on Saint Talk. Bring it to you. But listeners, remember on the front page of today's Newsday, 56 vanished without a trace. So let me just share this with you, listeners. 56 people vanished without a trace. At least 56 families are suffering after the year comes to an end owing to the disappearance of their loved ones. Statistics from the police said they received 552 reports of missing people for the year as of December 28th. This worrying trend continues to attract the attention of police, interest groups, relatives, and others searching for evidence of where these people have ended up. As it stands, 466 were accounted for, 33 males and 23 females were missing without any trace, and 30 were found dead. Since the disappearance of Zaid Robin Hussein, 54, of Princetown, his family has been living in agony. The family has sought divine intervention, literally praying for answers. Now remember the rumors across our Twin Island Republic about organ harvesting, about all kind of things in terms of human trafficking, and in another way, mainly for the purpose of organs and stuff. So it's great to hear that it's attracting the attention as it relates to that, because that is a big one. You know what is that? That means that there is no closure. Your loved one is missing and you have no answers. Oh, how frustrating that is. And we can remember the plight of our sister there at Guayagari as it relates to her relentless search to get answers. And in the end, I think it turned out where at least some answers were found. So within our community, there are another couple of cases of persons who went missing and no answers or words or anything as it relates to that to date. So, based on information coming in, someone is asking already in terms of an update as it relates to the roadway from Manzanilla to Mayaro. And I have some news as it relates to that in terms of the roadway. Last week, I reiterated and shared with you, listeners, the commitment given by the Honorable Minister of Works and Transport, Mr. Rohan Sinanan, as it relates to that roadway and the opening of school January 3rd. So yesterday, because I knew that I wanted to give accurate information, I took a drive up to Manzanilla to view personally what is the status and the situation. Because, you know, we here on Miaro Radio always try to inform, educate, and of course, a little bit of entertainment. And I can state that come January 3rd, 2023, the commitment given by the Honorable Minister of Works and Transport will be met. So come Tuesday morning, the roadway will be open to vehicular traffic. And of course, that would bring a significant ease to commuters traversing Mayaro to Sangre Grande. And of course, in terms of cost, and taxi drivers, I hope you do an evaluation and do a rebate and make sure that you get your calendars and diaries for your regular passengers after that crushing time of traversing through Biche, Plumitan to get to Sangre Grande. So the commitment given by the Minister of Works and Transport, all things being equal at this time, will be met come Tuesday morning. Travelers would be able to traverse Mayaro to Manzanilla on their way to Sangre Grande. So that is some good news. The fact that the roadway, as commitment given by the minister, will be met come this Tuesday morning. So we say hats off to you, Minister, and for us here on this side of the island, we thank you for expediting that situation to bring some relief to residents and, of course, our student population getting to Manzanilla, Sangre Grande, and beyond. And for those who work in that area, that would have been one of the hardest month and a half that recently went by. So, yes, the roadway will be open come Tuesday, and we look forward to that. Also, as you know, that it's a dual situation there. A temporary bypass road is what will be in effect, while a permanent repairs of the roadway would be done simultaneously. So while we utilize the temporary access road, a more permanent solution would be sought, and of course, which may mean actually lifting the roads and making ways for the water to get to the sea as it relates to that. Also, so thank you, Minister Sinanan, for that. And also, we continue to have a high seas bulletin in effect as it relates for us here on the East Coast, as we're having some kind of tides that is impacting our shorelines and even a little way in. So at high tides, we have a lot of water coming on land. So also our small craft is advised not to go into the sea at this point in time. So our fisher folk here in the city of Mayaro, Guayagari, Ottawa, you are asked to exercise extreme caution if going out to sea, because of, you know, that high waves and that bulletins as it relates to the heights of the waves, which will be beyond normal and can pose serious risk for you being at sea. So that is the information as it relates to that. So we continue And what I want to do at this time is read for you a little bit of Mia Motley's comments on the passing of one of the greatest artists produced by Trinidad and Tobago, and our brother who was given that honorary doctorate, our brother Dr. Leroy Callis, the Black Stallion, yes, the limbo dancer from South. Yes, the limbo dancer from South. And I would want to read for you the comments. It's pretty long, but I'm going to just try to read some of it and share with you what the Prime Minister of Barbados would have said as it relates to our brother who would have passed. His contribution, of course, cannot go unnoticed. All right, his contribution cannot go unnoticed, and of course, it is one that must be recognized also. I think there's a concert to be held in San Fernando on, I think it's Monday. I'll get confirmation of exactly when that concert will be held. Under the auspices of the Mayor of San Fernando, First Citizen, Mayor Reguelo, who will be hosting that event. So we look forward to that as it relates, again, to recognizing a great one, in terms of recognizing a great one for his contributions as it relates to. And I will do this like this. I would read the first two paragraphs, and then later on in the program, I will continue. All right? Mia Motley on the passing of Black Stallion from the heart. Anyone who knows anything about me knows that I love music. It is key to all that I do. The truth is, one of those early artists who centered me and gave me context and perspective was Black Stallion. He had a way of drilling down always to the core. His message always rooted in truth, justice, and solidarity. Black Stallion was one of our region's finest masters of calypso. Both his lyrics and his melodies expertly captured the rhythm and voice of the Caribbean. Let me continue one time. I don't want to lose this. I'll read an additional paragraph. He was acutely conscious of our shared history, culture, passions, and concerns, and expressed them in his songs in a way we never could ourselves. In the true tradition of calypso, Stallion was also a griot chronicling the issues and philosophies impacting our daily lives. Those are words of the Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Motley. Now, this limbo dancer from South, level of consciousness was so high. His friendship with another of our great, great artists in the person of our brother Sindar Popo, and his love for the national instrument of Trinidad and Tobago. So what I'm going to do, before I come back and continue to read Prime Minister Motley's statements on the passing of our dearly beloved brother, I am going to play something called Jit by the Stallion, followed by the Pan Shootout. So I'm going to play Jit. And these are
Big blood! Big blood! Big blood!
I'm not familiar with, but you're hearing it right here on Saint Talk on Miaro Radio. So take it away, DJ, with Jit.
From a little village called Opino up to Uik. From playing a band in Mirama Club to a degree. It was a long, hard fight for the bandman to reach the day to get that kind of recognition. So when the word came out that day from UE, Savaro will receive a degree. It brought great joy to band people here because it shows somebody care. Dr. Jim, congratulations, enough respect from every man and woman. We live to see the Japanese get up and sing the pepe puree. Dr. Jim, oh Dr. Jim, thanks for the music. Just remember the very early days of the steel band, when players was known as badgered and as hooligans. Not a father or a mother in the island want their daughter to meet and never talk to a bandman. But nowadays they change up entirely. Band instructed in big university. It was a fight that went on day after day. We can now say we came a long way. Dr. Jen, congratulations, enough respect from every man and woman. We live to see the Japanese get up and sing a pepe puree. Dr. Jen, oh Dr. Jen, thanks for the music. Check how much band people came and made a contribution that never lived to see this day of recognition. Family know they didn't sacrifice in vain, though we may not even remember some of their names. So we must say thanks to everybody who contribute to the steel band fraternity. So brother Kit, my best wishes to you. Be successful in everything you do. Dr. Jen, congratulations, enough respect from every man and woman. We live to see the Japanese get up and sing the pepe puree. Dr. Jen,
of Manzanilla to the fine sands of Queens Beach. This is your station on the Eastern Peninsula. Myaro Radio, taking Myaro to the world.
And you're going to witness and listen to some of the best players in the business. Play some music. Play some music. Come a little closer with your band. Let me have a cool conversation. Mr. Pan is playing me some solo. For some of we long time hero. You know the Vulcans want to remember. Play some music. Play some music. Come a little closer with your band. Let me have a cool conversation. Mr. Pan is playing me some solo. For some of we long time hero. You know the Vulcans want to remember. Then it's me who should get together and play the artists of whose name who bring we culture here today. So come on and play one for Winston Free. A sweet sounding melody. Yes, a melody to bring back so much memory of all the beautiful things Winston did. Just a play one. of the man. Miss Fan Lady, don't feel that a dread. I ain't come out to push no notition, but I want you to remember how all them field banders suffer when they want better for carnival. Yes, they want to make the bacchanal. You know the steel band people they asking, and not one thing they ain't doing. So I want you to play one sweet melody, play one for the Lord Shorty. To bring back so much memory of all the beautiful tunes Shorty made for we. Play one. How about a round of applause for the lady? Way! Any part of the world now you go, people know about Sylvan and Calypso. They don't tell you the biggest bacchanal is in Trinidad Carnival. So people start bypassing Rio and coming here to Trinbago. And for one they want to save pleasure, the people who come out the culture. So come on and play one sweet melody. Play one for we brother Wiley. We're melody to bring back so much memory of all the beautiful bat Wiley played for we. Play one. Brooks is the name of the man. Mr. Palman, don't feel that a dread. I come out to put no notition. It have people here in the country who don't care what blast they think about we. Want to make friends for the carnival and so enjoy the festival. And you get the carnival over. They don't care about the world of culture. So come on and play one sweet melody. Play a melody for the Lord Kitchen. A melody to bring back so much memory of all the beautiful road march that she made for we. Play. How about a round of applause again from Professor Phil Boyd of the man. Mr. Batman, before you throw away, it's one more solo I want you to play. You got to play one for them vultures who don't care a damn about the culture. You see them form the self-in committee to destroy the art in the country. So I want you to play one and make them know nothing big and bad and bad you know. So come on, play one sweet melody. I'll play one for Beryl, play it constantly. A melody to bring back so much memory. A melody for Sister Beryl Mahmoudi. Play one. Little closer with your band. Let me have a cool conversation. Mr. Spanish play Mr. Zulu. I come up with long time hero. The ball just want to remember. Then if we should get together and bring me and this supposed day. Who bring me culture here today? So come on and play one sweet melody. Play one for we heroes. A melody to bring back so much memory of all the beautiful things. Well said. All you play, everybody.
Soppy Launch presents Old Year's into New Year's Party. Come celebrate with us December 31st, 8 p.m. till. Ticket cost 200 standard, 300 VIP. Contact these numbers for ticket information. 309-7159, 335-6420. Free drinks and eat. Come with your vibes, leave your pride, and come let's celebrate our new year with Soppy's Launch.
Yes, the black man feeling to party. Yes, I know you're hearing constantly some of the doctor's selection that, not normally played, but wow, I know you love it. I know you love it. So very, very, very pleasant good morning to our listeners out there in our sister island, Barbados. And you have a good time there in Barbados tuning. And of course, thank you to the Bajan people and the comments made by the Prime Minister of Barbados in the person of Mia Martley. On the artist of the region, the black man. Right? Also special good morning to London, England. Mate, I heard you have some great weather there. Hope they bundle up. Right, there in good old England. And of course, in San Francisco, California. Oh my, all over the U.S. is getting that. Right? So in the U.S. Virgin Islands, anywhere that you're listening to us, good morning. And of course, we know across the 5 boroughs, the tri-state area, didn't check the temperatures there this morning, but I heard that you are having your normal deep freeze weather all week. So, happy Old Year's Day. We're not in this New Year's Eve thing. Today is not New Year's Eve. Today is Old Year's Day. Right? We on Seine Talk live on Miara Radio, Old Year's Day. Right? So anybody still have black cake around, remember, and on Seine Talk, we know not because the cake may be dark in color, that constitute a black cake. If your fruits was soaking for less than 3 months, that is not a fruit cake, that is not a black cake. The fruits must be soaking for more than 3 months. So anybody still have any black cake, you could send peace to the studio at this time. Now, the black man, our sister singing Francine would have left, the explainer, some big ones. So you could imagine a concert in heaven tonight, and you could imagine the front row in the audience. While, Diego used to try to sit to the front, to the aisle, but they tell him that chair is always vacant. So this big concert in the sky tonight, where we have singing Francie, singing Sandra, where we have the Black Stallion, where we have, oh my gosh, our dear brother and loved, our Tobago boy, and all these artists who are up there. Now, Kenny J is the opening act in the concert tonight. But you know who's sitting in front? The greatest footballer of all time is seated in the front row of the concert tonight. So, Dona Simiento is in front, tuned in, and Kenny J is opening the show tonight in heaven. Tickets, I hope all those from TNT get seats. But yes, so Diego is second at the side, and that seat in the corner, and that seat that was vacant all the time, and Diego want to know why. Right? The boss has arrived. He's seated there. Kenny J opening the show, and all the best. Cause I'm addicted to soca. I know all I thought Kenny J was opening with the brush. But the man opening tonight, his opening performance is I'm addicted to soca. Yes. So we continue. And that contribution and those statements made by the Honorable Prime Minister of Barbados on our artists. Now, number of persons poured out contributions, and as I said to you, I got the information off of Buju Banton's page, the passing of our brother, right here in TNT. I got it off the Buju Banton's Facebook page. And I'm going to continue what you would have stated. But many persons, but I chose to share that because, sometimes we have this saying that self-praise is no praise, or sometimes we say things like a king is never recognized in his own kingdom. But a leading figure of the region, a sister who would have represented us at the United Nations, overwhelmingly great. All right? And in a nation that is under some strain economically, we know that they would have not have had promotions or wage increases in the public sector and that kind of thing. They would have gone to the IMF, I think for a second or third time, something like that. But a highly respected leader within the region. And her comments on our brother is one that, I feel proud to hear the statements that was echoed by the Prime Minister of Barbados about our brother. It was really, really, it really touched everyone who read it. And I will continue because I said it's a very long statement. And I would go back and read the third paragraph and then read a fourth, because the fourth paragraph is pretty long. So the third paragraph, I just want to share it again. I know I just read it, but I want to state again. He was acutely conscious of our shared history, culture, passions, and concerns, and expressed them in his song in a way we never could ourselves. In the true tradition of Calypso, Starling was also a griot chronicling the issues, philosophies impacting our daily lives. No more so was it evident than in that iconic Caribbean anthem that remains our holy grail of Caribbean civilization. Who else has more poignantly reminded us that we are one people on the same trip, coming on the same ship, pushing one common intention for a better life for we women and we children. That must be the ambition of the Caribbean man. Even more so as we greatly ready to celebrate 50 years of CARICOM in 2023. Not to be limited by the Caribbean region, Black Stallion emboldened those of us fighting the consequences of colonialism and the horror of apartheid with his exhortations to Peter in Bondem. This was a powerful reminder of the exploitation and the oppression of black people by whoever and wherever. Yes, his intention was achieved to empower us with the resolve to keep fighting the battle for justice. Ah, my gosh. Great, great words. She also stated, Black Stallion's songs were really about nation building, a task to which he was as committed as any Caribbean leader. Yes, he reminded us early on that Dorothy and the tales of jamming her would have to take second place to his concerns as to where the oil money went. But perhaps his most far-reaching song was yet another anthem, that of the black man. After centuries of dehumanization of the black man and the black woman, Black Stallion validated the importance of dignity of the black man. After all, his hard work and struggles to be able just to fit with his woman. Yes, he saw us all. Our Black Stallion reminded us of the real concern of sufferers, not to be wallowing in bigotry, nor to be used as a background for many others in their causes, but in being singularly concerned as to where the next meal is coming from. Never forget it. We give thanks for the life, work, and passion of Leroy Callis, who at the time of our Caribbean nation building reminded us always that we can make it if we try. I was unapologetic in using its power of inspiration, a song without boundaries and sovereignty, a tribute simply to the human spirit. That was one of the key songs that I chose during the COVID-19 pandemic to use on the highways and byways across Barbados as we worked to encourage our people to stay the course and keep our heads above water. We urge, as he would, as we all knew, that if we simply try and work together, better days are coming. We in the Caribbean have lost one of our greatest nation builders. Each word of his, each sentence of his, carefully crafted by a maestro to tell our story of the Caribbean and our people, our story. May we work hard to keep his music alive across this Caribbean with each succeeding generation. May his work inspire others as it has me on my life journey. Me amor. Those were the words of the Prime Minister of Barbados, and I think best said, and I hope that that in its entirety is read at the funeral of our dearly beloved brother who represented us, the region, and by extension, a place and the black man on today. So what do we do next? What do we do next? We continue with bringing our brother's music to the forefront and, of course, showing us his versatility. Yeah, and, of course, how good that brother is. And I want to play Stay Giving Praise. I don't know if you're familiar with this one, but this is a duet that the brother did with one of our big names. As you know his name, the Black Man. And the Black Man feeling the party. I know I said it about the third time saying the Black Man feeling the party, and you ain't hear that song as yet. The brother have so many selections that today, as we celebrate his contribution to us, this is one where the black man really stand out again, and with a sister who needs no introduction. So let's go again. Stay giving praise.
Woman, your black man balling. I can't take no more. Woman, your black man chanting. All my body so.
Black man, we've got to keep on pushing. We struggle too long. Come on and grab your
a black man balling. All my vision blocked. Oh man, your black man chanting. I'm feeling to pack up.
Packing up is not the answer, and it has never been. We got to keep on going and stay righteous and clean.
We found to fight together for rights, to grow a family free and healthy, and we must stick together in any kind of weather, giving praise to the Creator, Jah Jah forever. Man, this blues are taking all my body sore. Oh man, your black man say just can't take no more.
Black man, we got to keep on going. Forget the dance and grooves, and then we keep on pushing. What more we got to lose?
We vow to fight together for rights, to grow a family free and healthy, and we must stick together in any kind of weather, giving praise to the Creator, Jah Jah forever.
From Mafeking to Rio Claro to Guayaguayare, through the coconuts of Manzanilla to the fine sands of Queens Beach. This is your station on the Eastern Peninsula, Maero Radio, taking Maero to the world.
Luther King. Never lived by a gun, but yet died by one. This man, Martin Luther King, senior son, a gentleman of great capability, who never knew the meaning of the word enemy, but a man who devoted his life to fight that all American Negroes must get civil rights. I say his works must be continued although he's dead, so people don't forget the great things that Martin said. Leave your guns at home, don't walk with weapons. Violence cannot solve the situation. We want the whites to know, believe wholeheartedly. We want them as our friends and not as enemy. For as enemy would bring riot in this land, and that would not be good for no American. Call him a genius, a messiah, or different things. But machine everything. Never lived by a gun, but yet died by one. This man, Martin Luther King, senior son, a gentleman of great capability, who never knew the meaning of the word enemy, but a man who devoted his life to fight that all American Negroes must get civil rights. I say his works must be continued although he's dead, so people don't forget the great things that Martin said. Leave your guns at home, don't walk with weapons. Violence cannot solve the situation. We want the whites to know, believe wholeheartedly. We want them as our friends and not as enemy. For as enemy would bring riot in this land, and that would not be good for no American. Call him a genius, a messiah, or different things. But I say Martin was a king of all. From Texas to Florida, New York City, yes, and even Georgia, the entire Negro population, yes, they had Martin Luther King as their champion, a man that stood tall and have no fear, and gave more than 350 speeches a year. But how can we forget this blessed day in the Civil Rights March? Listen what he said. He said, I have a dream, I have a vision, and this is what Martin made them to understand. In his vision, this is what he see. One day black and white would be living so happy. Little black children and little white children one day walk in the streets of America as friends. From the Black Hills of Dakota to Mississippi, hand in racial equality. A man that all the world considered as wise, a man that was awarded a Nobel Peace Prize. Violence was never his way to fight, but with several prison terms for civil rights. I remember one good day in Mississippi when a reporter put a question to him, why must American Negroes get civil rights? And this was his answer to my delight. We till their cotton fields and give their pockets more wealth, mind their babies and have them in the best of health. Took part in the Olympic, don't care if we die, just to keep the stars and strike flying high. Uphold democracy in and out of this land, from Germany to the foxhole of Vietnam. All this we did for America, so faithful and true. Tell me why we can't eat this.
Yes, listeners, I know you never heard these before. The brother was versatile, as you heard the Prime Minister stated, across the region, across the globe. And of course, you know what he just said, Martin Luther was truly a king of kings. Yes, he was a king. Right? The funeral service of our dearly beloved brother, the limbo dancer from South, the late great, Dr. Leroy Callis, the Black Stalin, the Stalin. And the Stalin is a Russian thing, meaning firm iron, and the black is to show that in terms of here's what's going on, you're black and you're proud. Because everything black emanated from our Twin Island Republic. And of course, a good morning to the memory of our brother Stokely Carmichael. You will know him as Kwame Ture, right? Who coined the phrase Black Power. So of course, the black man feeling to party. The black man feeling to party, and I keep saying it because I want you to tune in to Seine Talk and tell everybody that next week, Saturday, in the new year 2023, the black man will be partying. Because remember, wine, Dan Raj, wine, Dan Raj, wine, Dan Raj, time to party. Of course, Sundar way this song, Sundar way this song. So we know all that coming together. So we partying with the black man next week. This week we touching it real. So the funeral service of our late brother will be done on Thursday coming. Thursday. Of course, the tributes continue to be poured in from all over the world on the passing of a great one. And they did have, because, one of the things that we are guilty of is, recognizing and holding the spotlights on our great ones after they would have passed. Fortunately, the brother had a nice program on September earlier this year where he was celebrated and, you know, given the accolades where he can actually hear and be there in terms of that. So the brother had been ailing for quite a while, but it did have some recognition for him in September this year. And of course, that is what we would like, not for the posthumous awards, but for awards while the great ones are here. And again, condolences going out to the entire Callis family, the Calypso fraternity, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and, you know, all his fans across the diaspora, across the globe, and of course to the people of Barbados. I mean, that is wonderful, and the fact that the impact that he had, and a special good morning to another artist, Buju Banton, who would have, you know, jumped out instantly and commented on the passing of our brother. So, I mean, that consciousness across the Caribbean, and of course, as Prime Minister Mia Motley stated, that anthem of the Caribbean man making one trip on the same ship, you know, I mean, one people, and that is that connection, all right? Because outside of the arts, we know it's cricket, so it's cricket, it's the arts, it's cricket, it's the arts, it's cricket, all right? So, you know, one love, as our brother Robert Nesta Marley, Bob Marley would have stated, so one love as it relates to that. So we must give thanks. But 2023 have been a year filled with so many different things, and a lot of focus was placed on the negative. In fact, you know, we had the big cheerleading team as December started, you know, cheering on to get to that 600. Now that they have achieved what they were cheering on for, I hope that they can now add value in our Twin Island Republic as it relates to that. Because, I mean, 2023, last week I played some of the comments coming out from the Minister of Energy and Energy Resources, the Honorable Stuart Young, who is taking on multiple portfolios. And I did not get this morning because the acting Minister of Culture would have made statements on the passing of our brother. Unfortunately, I must apologize, listeners. I was also to bring the Minister of Culture, Trinidad and Tobago, and her comments. The acting Minister of Culture at the time now is Miss Minister Paula Gopi-Skoon, who is acting Minister of Culture at this time. I did not get the comments this morning because I wanted to also share that with our listeners. But we take it seriously, and we know that 2023, the message from Seine Talk and from Miara Radio is just one word, and that's love. So in other words, in 2023, we must show more love, give more love, understanding and all that stuff, but just love. Because when we really analyze it, God is love, and that is what. So in closing, as we come into the end of 2022, I'd like to wish all our listeners, you know, all the best for 2023. Look forward to you sharing the app, sharing the existence of Miara Radio, and of course of our show, our program, Seine Talk, to be a part of it. You know, each one tells someone, and each person tells someone. So we're going to be bigger and better come 2023. So in closing, I want to give you my favorite styling of all time, followed by Prime Minister Mia Motley's favorite of styling. So we're going to play them back to back as we come to a close on Seine Talk 2022, and looking forward to a bigger and better 2023 as it relates to our show and Miara Radio going from places to places. And we know next week is, of course, you know, Miara Radio will be kicking off its Carnival 2023. And you know that's going to be a big thing as we change in all the rhythms and music coming in for Carnival 2023, the mother of all Carnival. So we're going to go with my favorite styling of all time, No Woman No. It's a love song, flat out, serious thing, Caribbean love. It's a love song, No Woman, No Woman, followed by Prime Minister Mia Motley's song, in closing, Seine Talk. So No Woman No.
868-294-8232. Mayaro Radio.
it. Now who is I can make one too. Why the hell I can't get you irritated and make it up with a I love you. But when you start to talk about leaving, woman, you know that's a different thing. After putting in so much energy for we to build this family, you're backing out on your responsibility. No, it ain't your thing, this ain't my thing, it's them youth thing. I think for years you and I keep feeling it's just a little of your sweat, woman, and my sweat that we put together just to make life sweeter for we son and daughter. And nobody never tell me that how to build this family it's going to be easy. So then we can split up now. I think to do that we must be cracked. How we go reach the river Jordan and then turn back. No woman we can't turn back now. No woman we can't turn back now. We don't make one vow. We can't turn back now. No woman we can't turn back now. No woman we can't turn back now. We don't make one vow. We can't turn back now. Check how much years that are working part-time. Just last year they make me permanent. We stick together all through the hard time. Now look, today we got a few cents. Check how much morning we wake up hungry, but we maintain with love and with dignity. So don't let bad vibration from people or institution stop this love journey that we started on. No, it ain't your thing, this ain't my thing, it's them you's thing. I think for years you and I keep feeling it's just a little of your sweat, woman, and my sweat that we rub up together just to make life sweeter for we son and daughter. And nobody never tell me that how to build one family it's going to be easy. So then we can split up now. To do that we must be cracked. How we go reach the river Jordan and then turn back. No woman we can't turn back now. No woman we can't turn back now. We don't make one vow. We can't turn back now. No woman we can't turn back now. No woman we can't turn back now.
868-294-8232. Mayaro Radio.
We can't turn back now. We first child born in a shack in the country. The last child just born in a nursing home. We live so much years home by your daddy. Now look, today we own home. So what it is right now I could do you that we can sit down and work it through.
868-294-8232.
Don't make decisions on warrant and have we children grow up ignorant. No, it ain't your thing, this ain't my thing.
Barbados, this one is for you. Barbados.
868-294-8232. Mayaro Radio.
Times may be rough, life may be tough, but we must do.
Big blood movements. Incoming.
868-294-8232. Mayaro Radio.
Times may be rough, life may be tough, but we must keep going. We feeling the pain, yes we keep holding strain, but we must keep fighting. Regardless of how it come, we just can't surrender. We gotta keep working towards a better future. We may never be always down and fighting to stay off the ground. We must remember our day will come. While we appreciate the little life got to give, regardless what's the hurt, we must think positive. Look on the brighter side, look on the brighter side, because I see a silver lining behind this gray cloud we're passing. Look on the bright side, look on the bright side, for the bright side is where we going. Oh,
Date 68294-8232.
along the road, but we must keep going. Like if we commit a crime, and we keep serving time, but we must keep fighting. Remember they say that nothing lasts forever. One day is for the slave, one day for the master. So always keep your courage up. Don't allow confidence to drop. One day we'll be right here on top. While we appreciate the little life got to give, regardless what's the hurt, we must think positive. Look on the brighter side, look on the brighter side, because I see a silver lining behind this great cloud we're passing. Look on the bright side, look on the bright side, for the bright side is where we going. I don't want to hear that same song again. If I hear the same song, I might go insane. Because it's a small, the same thing I'm hearing. That now it have a better day coming. But anyhow that I look around, oh yeah, oh yeah, I see the whole world heading for destruction. Oh yeah, oh yeah, people committing crimes and for their escape. Oh yeah. They're doing all that for the children's sake. Better days are coming. Come with it, come with it. Come with it, man. I sing and say I'm taking my wife to party. People vex like hell cause I say my wife and not their beauty. So the next weekend on the paper them boys start writing. Yes, they're trying to tell the world it's what that the black man singing. So before them reporters put my career in more jeopardy. And not me to sing nothing again about party. But when the fans and them around the world listen to what I have to say, anyway that I go, anyway that I pass, they keep balling out. No way, no, this party can't done. Black man, your fans having fun. Black man, jam another one. This party can't done, this party can't done. Come with it, your fans want to party. Come with it, jam a party song. Come with it, we just want to roll back all night long. Come with it, your fans want to shake up. Come with it, build my party song. It's you make we boogie woogie, oh yeah. Something sexy, so you'll be free to move around. Make sure the children okay. We ain't coming home until morning come. Tonight the black man feeling the body. Tonight the black man feeling the jam, 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 jam. Tonight the black man just feels the boogie woogie. Come on, hold on to your man. Let me do one, let me do one, let me do one, let me go. Judgment morning, I'm at the gate and I'm waiting because I'm begging the master.